Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Make a Good Mega Man Level Contest 2, or Magmal 2 for short. During the last part, I cleared the remaining level in the Grand Tower, that being Bondman, and defeated its boss, who was Jetman. So with that out of the way, let's go into Tier 9, which is directly to the right of us. But before that, let me show off the me IRL costume, which I put on in the last part. It's basically just Mega Man without a pair of hands, just Mega Man and some legs. And effectively he has a leg buster or foot buster. The main differences are with the Sakugarne, which is Rush's head, Sakugarne. Well, okay then. Look at Mega Man's face when I'm bouncing all the way up, he looks frightened for some reason. All of the other special weapons work the same way, with the exception of the utilities of course. Rush Coil is effectively the Rush IRL spring or something. Rush Jet is the Rush IRL spring, which is effectively half the Rush Jet. But I want to try something. Yeah, the hitbox is still the same as before. After all the costumes that look to be just 1 block high have the same hitbox as regular characters, which is 2 blocks high. So you need to slide into the 1 block wide gaps. The same with the bigger characters, which I haven't gotten just yet. Wire Adapter works the same way, and Super Arrow is the same. So let's move on to the right. That's Aquaman's reference to Tier 10, which I'll cover in probably 4 parts. Galaxy Man's Giant Pit will be unlocked once I get into the post-game. I already know about that, how useful it is. And yes, there are the main festival grounds, which I already visited because they're directly west of Dr. Light's laboratory. Well, you aren't even a Mega Man fan character from a Mega Man fan game, technically, you're from a tribute game. Anyways, on to Tier 9, the main festival grounds, which has 12 energy elements and a surprisingly high 29 noble nickels. After Tier 7 and Tier 8, I expected the next tier to have a low number of noble nickels, but apparently not. Oh yeah, I checked off screen. The next reward we'll get from Nightman's Pub will be at 120 noble nickels. And yes, Tier 9 has all of the good levels at the very least. I would say almost all of the stages in Tier 9 are good levels, or at the very least almost good. By the way, in Tier 9, I didn't actually watch any footage of any of the levels outside of 1 or 2 of the stages, which I'll get to eventually. So for this first part in Tier 9, I will be covering the first 3 levels. And Centaur Man is mentioning what I said just now. And there's a very particular reason why I'm covering the first 3 levels now. But I'll get to that at the end of this part. So first off, in 18th place is Misty Lake by notencore with a score of 36.8. All the levels so far are going to be above average, I hope. After all, I didn't see footage of this. 1 energy element and 5 noble nickels. Oh neat, we actually have a Roadmaster introduction. We haven't seen these in the competition yet, or even in the previous competition. So this bodes well. And we have an 8-bit remix of the Diamond Dust stage theme from Sonic 3D Blast. And we had Hawks dropping snow. Okay then. I'm curious, is there a secret to the left? It looks to be. Nope, nothing there. Oh, and snow slows us down actually, it doesn't act like ice physics. So I guess the stage's boss is going to be Chill Man or something. But we already have a unique gimmick, that being the snow, which slows us down. It kinda reminds me of the glue platforms on Bondman's stage. And this is definitely going to be a nice level. Gotta be a bit careful about these hawks though. There is the first noble nickel, really easy to get. Okay, the snow dropping on us doesn't damage us, that's good to know. I wanted to jump over it because I thought it was a bottomless pit, but no, it's just a secret. Well, okay then. Usually when the pits fade to black, it means it's a bottomless pit, but here it just continues on to the next part of the stage. Well, okay then, it seems that the noble nickels of this level are really easy to get. I got 2 of them pretty easily. Well, one of them was a bit out of the way, but first one is pretty easy. Oh, this was bad. We now have the Chillman blocks. Sakugani time then. Not sure how this is how I introduced the Chillman blocks though. Now you have the slow moving maces from Waveman's stage. Oh, this is different. Before the Chillman blocks only contained nothing, but now they contain enemies. Because I see a frozen croaker there. Which, when I blow it up, releases the enemy inside of it. And now you have Chillman blocks floating in the water. This is one way of extending the usage of the Chillman blocks. I wish Breaking Ground did something more to this, or similar to this, in Make a Good 24-hour Mega Man level, but now only had about 24 hours, so it makes sense. But I'm really liking the snow and ice gimmicks here. Oh, and these are slowly floating upwards now. And then begin floating there. It's a small touch of them floating up and down, but it's a nice one and adds to the aesthetics of this stage. Oh, hello there, Squidon. Well, that wasn't too bad. Unfortunately, okay, they actually respawn. I wasn't sure if the second one would respawn, so I decided to just use the super arrow there. I see you there, Squidon. At least there's a brief 1 or 2 second window where you can jump off of the cracked crystal blocks or Chillman blocks before they shatter. Oh, and hello there, Wanderbell. They're from Rockman and Forte 2 Challenger from the future for the Wonder Swan. Well, okay then, apparently the hawks dropping snow on the blocks can shatter them, or at least crack them. Wait a minute. That part earlier looked a bit suspicious. I want to check it. With the 2 Chillman blocks. And I was right. After all, there was that second noble nickel. I recognize the croaker on the left, but what's there in the middle? Well, we're gonna find out now. He dropped a watermelon. Was that Watermelon Man? Was that a mascot for something, or was that a reference, or... I don't know. We may see that Watermelon Man in the future. Then again, it may be another one of those Magwell 2 server in-jokes, similar to MeIRL. Ah, cute. The Mega Man symbol over there, or Extra Life, actually has legs. And that should be the 5th and final noble nickel. Only thing left is to fight Chillman. Who are you? Oh, you're notencore. Inserted into the game itself. Oh, Mini Macro was the one who created that. The Omega Team Tileset. Tileset was pretty good, and fitted the Ice Team. Oh, Faxandu Castle, a game for the NES. Zun. From Toho? I wonder, did I miss a secret somewhere? Well, I guess we're gonna find out where we fight Chillman. Cyrano? The Ice Fairy? I guess she's the boss then. Didn't expect that. Oh good, her weaponry is basically the perfect freeze. I wonder what her weakness is though. Then again, I'm fighting her for the first time, so of course, I'm gonna be fighting her without her weakness, and during the rematch, I will fight her with her weakness. Okay, she floats around the room creating all these ice blocks, then fires 3 of them at you. 3 at a time, good to know. And then she tries luring you with all of these projectiles. It's probably an attack from Toho. There we go, we've defeated Cerno now. A larger version of Cerno, actually, because we first saw her back in just an ice level by Apache. Still a pretty pleasant level. It's an almost good level, I'd say, at least a 7 out of 10, or whatever this stage was rated. Pretty nice level, good difficulty curve, and I liked how the snow gimmicks were introduced as well as the chill man blocks and how much they were expanded upon, because now they have enemies inside of them and they float and bob up and down the water. I like how they were actually utilized during the Cerno encounter. The chill man introduction in the beginning was kind of luring us into a different false expectation, but I don't mind as much because we had a unique boss fight at the end. And the stage wasn't called Misty Man, it was called Misty Lake. And the noble nickels were really easy to get. Only 2 of them were kind of off the beaten path. Pretty cool level overall. That's one thing, it didn't use the elements to its full potential, but at the very least it had an adequate potential. It could fit under Mega Man 5 or 6, I would say. And yes, this is a frozen medieval town, that's also another nice aesthetic. And it actually solved one of the problems I mentioned back in Make a Good 24-hour Mega Man level, of how I'd like to see more Roadmasters utilize one of the gimmicks that were introduced in the stage. And this one did with the ice blocks spawning in the water. Well, I didn't have any glitches with the ice blocks, so I'm really thankful. Well, I guess they were to slow us down more than anything else. If they froze the stage itself, it could have caused more problem. Oh, okay then. It wasn't that bad of a bullet hell fight, there weren't that many projectiles. If this is bullet hell, Cerno would probably fire 7 sets of those ice-shattering blocks, as well as more perfect freeze projectiles. So overall, if I were to give a rating to this, it'd probably be a 37 or 38. Overall, solid level. Probably a 36 or 37. I'm not sure what this is a reference to. I don't know what the boss of Tier 9 is, by the way. I know of the other tier bosses, but not Tier 9. I do know there's a connection between Tier 9 and Tier 1, though, in terms of bosses. So next up in 17th place is Donut Observation Center by LobsterKing with a score of 37.6. 1 energy element and 3 noble nickels. Is this taking place in a theme park? It looks to be, with the benches, the fences, and the Ferris wheel in the background, as well as the circus tent. Okay, twin cannons. We also have the Tomahawk Man platforms. I'm curious what the stage's title is a reference to. I see we're entering a castle, but what are we observing? Hello there, Tama. Bye, Tama. Apparently we actually need to destroy the Tama in order to move onwards. We have everything as well. Missed that E-Tank. Oh neat, we actually had the Ringman platforms. I'm surprised we didn't see them earlier. And they're used as opening shafts or doors. Really liking the musical track. Oh neat, we're taking some gimmicks from Extreme Parkour Tier 4. Remember that Tier 4 stage where we had the Galaxy Man teleporters launching us upwards? It reminds me of that. Now we have the Bull Picketmen, or Picketman Bull, or Pickleman Bulls, as they're called here for some reason. As well as the matter generator switches from Drillman's stage. I'm not sure why they were part of Drillman's stage. They're being much better utilized here, as opposed to something like air sliding, or Holy Carp Mega Man can air slide. So far so good, that first noble nickel was pretty easy to get. Oh yeah, it was not actually Extreme Parker, it was Enhanced Mobility. My apologies. Extreme Parker is a post-game level. I already know of it because I saw a video of it, and it's quite something. Oh goody yambos. I'm taking the upper route because there's probably a noble nickel up there. Never mind, we just generated a platform for some reason. Oh, I see. I need to generate this platform in order to reach Noble Nickel, and I almost died there. Oops. What I really want is the super arrow. By taking this route, we get access to the Noble Nickel, but we need to take the upper pathway anyway to activate the switch. It isn't that difficult, but at least it's a little bit more of a challenge to get. Much more difficult in comparison to, for example, what Misty Lake did. Okay then, now we have rotating platforms, or parts of the environment that are moving left to right. In this case, platforms or spikes. Let me guess, this is going to teleport us to the right, we need to land on this one and get onto the ladder itself. Very neat! Now we need to timer jump here so we don't end up in the spikes. Oh, and apparently this is solid from below. That's good to know. Of course, I can also just use the wheel cutter, that works too. The musical track is pretty nice. I know I already said it, but it gives a rather mysterious feel. Is this stage taking place in a circus castle or something? And now we're outside again. And now we have the other Ringman platforms. The ones that go in the other direction. More Tomahawk Man platforms. Oh no. Okay, I see what I need to do here. Gotta be quick here. And this teleports me to here. And avoid getting killed by the Nitrons. I don't trust myself here. Oh, okay then. You can't make it past this rainbow platform fast enough, so you need to get into the Galaxy Man teleporter and wait for the rainbow platform to respawn. That's clever. And get back here quickly, and jump over here. Very clever combination of usages of the rainbow platforms, as well as the matter-generating switches. Good work, LobsterKing. I like this stage a lot more than the previous level, that's for sure. Or at least it feels more unique, and better utilizes gimmicks. Although it could have been taken a bit further, with the combination of matter-generating switches, Galaxy Man teleporters, and the rainbow platforms, and remove the Tomahawk platforms to focus. We have the 3 Noble Nickels and... Is this a donut machine? I see a bottomless pit over there though. And there I demonstrate the bottomless pit. Oh goody, just like Misty Lake, we actually utilized one of the gimmicks of the stage in the boss fight itself, those being the Galaxy Man teleporters. We're going to one switches you and teleports you to the other side. What's this donut machine's weakness though? I guess this is why it's called the Donut Observatory. I think it's those green tangs or something. This is a neat boss encounter, I'll say that. The boss life bar on the top left was a combination of those 4 orbs, and once you destroy the green orbs, it dies. Pretty neat stage, although I'd like to know what the setting of this stage is. The first stage was a medieval frozen castle town. This one takes place in a carnival or something? Why is it called Donut Observatory? Were they trying to build a secret donut machine weapon? I don't get the reference. I never played X6 after all. Yeah, it was kind of a strange level, but I liked it. I mean, the name kinda reminds me of Super Mario World because donut planes, as well as some of the donut enemies. Yeah, the Galaxy Man teleporters could have been taken further. After all, they were taken further back in Enhanced Parker, and that was way back in Tier 4. And the gimmick introduction could have been smoothed out because it was introduced a little bit too rapidly. Maybe increase the size of the stage by 33% or something. And I made the assumption that one teleporter would lead to the other because I already played Enhanced Mobility, but that was way back there. I mean, if you didn't play that stage, you may not understand it here. After all, other stages use the Galaxy Man teleporters differently. I didn't mind the boss fight though and how precise you had to be there. After all, it only shot 4 shots at you, and you could lead the shots pretty easily. I mean, it even utilized the Galaxy Man teleporters in the boss fight itself. What was the most reviled things? I'm not sure. And gosh, A-Spark really liked this stage, in contrast with Angel. Oops, that's the wrong way. Well, I didn't die anywhere, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, I'm not sure what this stage's theme exactly was. Was it a secret weapon facility disguised as a carnival? I'm judging by the background there. And the first 2 Noble Nickels were no challenge at all, but the last one actually had some of it a puzzle. And it is pretty close to a Capcom level, although I'd say the previous level was too. So, if I were to rate this stage based on my first impressions, it's probably a 38. Though I'll need to reevaluate later because it's a rather strange level. Ah, Aircon Man. He originated from Rockman and Forte 2, Challenger from the Future, for the Wonder Swan. That had some rather strange Worldmaster names. They had Compass Man, as well as a few others. In this case, Aircon is short for Air Conditioner, and his fans are a lot bigger than Airman's or Windman's fans. And there's the pun in the text itself. Anyways, third and final level of the part is, in 16th place, Rad Gravity by Renhoek with a score of 37.8. I know he designed the rotating tower of Tier 8, so I'm excited to see what crazy gimmick he has here, or interesting one. 1 energy element and 2 noble nickels. Nitro Man, nope. The boss is Gravity Man, who just one-shot and kicked out Nitro Man there. Also, I like this boss intro more than Misty Lake's one. I'm really liking how more stages have that. What a groovy remix of Gravity Man's stage theme from Mega Man 5. Well, I guess it makes sense, he's called Gravity Man. Also, the Sakugarni is disabled. So I guess we're gonna have gravity switching gimmicks or something. Well, I don't have the ability to switch gravity yet, so I'll just take a dead over there. And get it immediately, that first noble nickel. There we go. Wait a minute. I have a hunch. That's not how my hunch decided to work. Oh well. It's only one dead, and I got the first noble nickel quickly. I believe you're supposed to go forward in the stage, get the ability to switch gravity or something, and then get the noble nickel that way. Not much of a loss though. Base mets and that shield cannon. Shield attacker there. Well, I ran right into that Byrie. And we have a recolored wall blaster there. Okay then, that's blocked off. So I need to go through this route. And there's spikes on the left, so I'm a bit curious. Does switching gravity change that up a bit? Well, this is a different hot dog encounter. For one, it actually locks onto my position correctly. And it's red colored. And apparently Nitro Man was imprisoned by Gravity Man. Okay then, so this stage actually has a quite unique gimmick. Whenever I press up, Gravity Man will teleport up to me, and let me test that actually. How do I get off of him? Okay, so just press up and jump again. Hold up and press jump to activate him. He'll teleport to my current position if he's not touching me. Do up and jump again while on him to activate him, and he drives directly on top of the wall. This kinda reminds me of how he worked in Rock Force, and that destroys the wall. That's actually a super neat gimmick. Let's see how well utilized it is here. I should be killing off that wall blaster first though. So now we can go around the wall. In fact, it works better than in Rock Force, because in there it just worked like a wheel cutter, but here it can actually rotate around the wall. Please get up here. Okay, let's see if I can... No, I want to go the other way. There we go. Wow, we actually have curves in this engine, or at least Renhoek added them. This is... oh... Well, I ran into that wall spikes like a foolish person. Wasn't too bad because the checkpoint's here. Still, I find this to be a really neat gimmick. I didn't expect Renhoek to implement curves into the engine, as well as having a driving simulator and driving across the wall. That's really impressive. What's their weakness though? Are we intended to actually rescue Nitro Man this way? That doesn't seem to be how we're intended to do it. He can even go over 90-degree inclines. That's quite crazy. Still, that doesn't work. I need to kill off the wall blasters. Oh well. Let's go. This time, be a bit more careful with my driving so I don't accidentally drive into a wall bed of spikes. Oh yeah, I also have inertia to worry about, so I gotta be careful about that. Because I can't instantly turn around, as I'll demonstrate right over here. A bit of a scary maneuver here, but it works. You just need to get used to the driving physics. Oh wow, that's not how I intended to do that. Like I said, it's gonna take a while to get used to the fact that I can summon Nitro Man by pressing up and A, or up and the jump button. Still, it's a neat stage gimmick, although it is a little bit... well, you need to get used to it basically, because it has inertia. Also, if you get shot while on Nitro Man, it knocks you off of him. So I gotta be careful of that too. Well, okay then, Mega Man can just go up these slides easily. Huh, that looks a bit suspicious there. Well, I better go on the other side. Yeah, there is probably something up there. I think I know what I need to do here. I need to use Super Arrow to get across there, and climb up this shaft. Or just use Nitro Man, and drive up this way, apparently. Can I go to the left there? Well, I guess not. Well, I'll kill myself and see what's on the left there. Hopefully there's no checkpoint here. And there's a checkpoint. Darn, I missed something up there. Well, I'll repeat the level and get over there in post and show off what's there. There's probably a noble nickel or some secrets there. Oh goody, now we have a green hot dog that fires at my last position. Well, I really like how Renhoek is changing the tried and true hot dogs with different variations. Whoops. Well, I guess I'm supposed to jump over it instead of just going to the bed of spikes. There's a bit of a visual glitch there where that dog spawns in though. What's your weakness? Wheel cutter makes sense. It's also probably the Super Arrow or Triple Blade. There we go, that's how you're supposed to do it. No, I want to see what's on the right. Well, I'm gonna kill myself again because I really want to see what's on the right side in case there's any noble nickels or anything else. Your weakness is probably Triple Blade. Yep, that's right. Alright, to the right. Well, that could have gone really bad if I went right into those spikes. There was nothing there. Well, hello there, Nobita. You're also part of Gravity Man's original stage. Free EM tank, but I don't need it. Well, I don't need any tanks, so I'll just ignore all this. I half expect there to be a bed of spikes somewhere. I wish I could shoot while on Nitro Man, at least in the normal— okay, I can. I can even do a charge shot. Well, I feel foolish now. There's no reason to get knocked off of Nitro Man now. I just need to slow down, that's all I need. I mean, I can switch directions while shooting, if I'm careful, and actually pay attention, for one. I'll just take the safe route. If you want to do this the speedrunner way, you can just jump off of ladder to ladder, or wall to wall, but I'd rather take the safe route. Okay. We need to get enough inertia to cross that. Oh, well, goodbye there, Nitro Man. There were probably a set of invisible spikes. Too bad. Well, I guess here we're gonna face Gravity Man. Kamek? Dr. Kamek. Well, I didn't expect to see Yoshi's Island here or a reference to that. This came out of nowhere, but I should have kind of expected it because, well, we had a Super Mario World back in Magma 1. Well, that was a neat boss battle. It turned the stage and took it from basically being a neat stage where you could drive up the walls with Nitro Man into something even more special. I mean, I totally didn't expect Kamek to be there right at the end, and then ending up on the moon similar to the Yoshi's Island World 5 boss. But still, there's one Noble Nickel remaining, so I'll meet you at that point. Well, okay then. Apparently this tube is hiding a ladder. I thought we needed to drive up this area, or drive up from the left. Now I feel a bit foolish. Next challenge is of course blowing up that thing. Okay, good, got on my first attempt. And there's the second and final Noble Nickel of this level. Yeah, sometimes driving up the wall with Nitro Man can act a bit wonky, but for the most part it seems to be fine to me. You just need to get used to the controls, as well as physics, especially the inertia. Because you can easily speedrun this stage if you understand how to jump between walls, especially in the second half. So let's see what the judges have to say. Janky is one word, especially if it's your first time. I also like how we had two types of hot dogs, the red ones which actually change where they fire all of the fireballs to aim at you, and the green one which actually aims straight at you instead of in an arcing pattern. And the final boss fight against Gravity Man at the end of the stage was icing on the cake. Oh yeah, Kamek was missing his laugh sound effect for some reason. At least give an 8-bit version. Or if you don't want to use 8-bit, just use a 16-bit version, it's so iconic. Oh yeah, Jupi ranting about the potential of the stage not being used properly. and you could get by the stage in most parts without using him actually. The boss was pretty cool, one of the more creative boss fights in an entry I've seen so far. It's just so unique. I mean, it utilizes the rotating gimmick, and both Gravity Man and you rotate around the moon. It's just so out there and just so fun. Raphael the Raven, aka the World 5 boss from Yoshi's Island. And it's definitely learnable, you can learn the pattern pretty well as long as you play it a few times. And all of Gravity Man's attacks actually have tells. Really, this stage wins out, especially in terms of the fun score. Not so much in terms of functionality or design, but especially in fun, and somewhat in aesthetics and music. Music was awesome. Nice groovy remix of Gravity Man's stage, hence Gravity Man. If I were to rate this, even with all the bugs, it's... Well, Ace does make a point that the issues with Nitro Man's jank causes a lot of point loss there. But outside of those things, this is definitely my favorite level of Tier 9 so far. Mainly due to the gimmick, even though it's a bit wonky, and the final boss fight, the introduction of Kamek. And the introduction of Nitro Man could have been done a lot better because, well, there were instant death spikes in the next screen where you actually use Gravity Man. Not Gravity Man, Nitro Man. Oh yeah, Sonic style physics, or rather, physics where you have acceleration deceleration like Mario. A larger variety of warm challenges was required, of course. It didn't take me that long to understand it, mainly because I played platformers with acceleration deceleration quite a bit. And the controls could be erratic and inconsistent based off of where you were actually rotating on the platform. There should have been more explanation of how it worked. Yeah, I had this issue. Really, the gimmick needed more introduction and explanation in tutorials. And getting on and off Nitro Man can be a problem. If there was a button that was dedicated to it, it would work a bit better. Maybe something else. Oh, and apparently the boss is undodgeable because of how many fireballs it fires at the player, or aiming at the player. He's certainly a difficult boss, but learnable over time. You mean combining attacks, not combing attacks. That could be a problem, but I need to find him a few more times to understand that. And I didn't mean to switch over there. And, okay, apparently the cutscene repeats over and over, that's a problem. In Yoshi's Island, if you die to a boss, it would just skip the cutscene, or just do a much faster version. Oh, apparently it's the most obscure one. I would disagree with that. The most obscure one was the third or fourth Noble Nickel on the upper pathway of Just an Ice level by Patchy. That one was super obscure. At least here there's somewhat of a hint. Over there was an invisible ladder. Really, it has an amazing concept, amazing ideas, but the execution and implementation doesn't work out the best. So, I'm not sure how to rate this exactly. Based off of everything I've seen so far, this will get at least a 40 based on my first impressions. Oh sure, the execution isn't the best, but I really like the creative ideas of Nitro Man driving up and down the walls, adding inertia, riding a motorcycle, as well as the whole final boss battle on the moon. It's just super fun. That's all I'll say. And I really hope that Renhoek takes these gimmicks and expands upon them further, either in a standalone title or in Magmal Tree in some regards. So that's the 3 levels I played in Tier 9. In the next part, I will be covering one really long level. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!